Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up this morning, Ghana ranked among 16 out of 51 African countries whose operational risk worsened between the end of 2020 and mid-2023 due to deterioration in the macroeconomic risk subcategory. We'll tell you more. Also, government expected to finalize domestic debt exchange program after securing more than 90% participation in the final round of restructuring of the financial instruments. And Chartered Institute of Insurance Ghana concerned about the current state of the economy, saying it may affect industry's quest to increase coverage. Details coming up. My name is Darryl Kwal. Thanks for listening, everyone. Hello to our friends in Koforidua listening on KTU Radio. First up, Ghana is ranked among 16 out of 51 African countries whose operational risk worsened between the end of 2022 and mid-2023. That's according to the Economist Intelligence Unit's latest operational risk outlook. Let's hear more in this report.
According to the UK-based firm, the worsening scores have been driven mainly by deterioration in the macroeconomic risk subcategory. This reflects the negative impact of rising domestic consumer prices on businesses' profit margins and the wider implications for exchange rate and monetary policy. That said, despite shocks presented by the Russia-Ukraine war and the scars left by coronavirus pandemic in 2020 and 2021, EIU said macroeconomic risk retains its place as the best rated subcategory across the region with an average score of 43, equivalent to a C rating. This is mainly reflecting relatively fast economic growth that comes with expanding populations. Meanwhile, 11 of the 51 countries have an improving risk outlook. These include Tanzania, the Central African Republic, and Ethiopia.
That's a Business Desk report. Economist Dr. Patrick Isumin is predicting that government will struggle to get local investors to sign on to its planned reopening of a new domestic debt exchange program. This will be for persons who did not participate in the earlier program. Minister of State at the Finance Ministry, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, disclosed to Joy Business that government is looking to reopen the domestic debt exchange program for persons who did not sign up to reconsider their decision. But Dr. Isumin tells Joy Business it may not work.
People will be more skeptical. A lot of the ones that didn't sign up, we were told that it was 80% or 85% that sign up. So, if you communicate that it's been very successful and you've moved forward, and then now you come back to come and tell us, I need to do a second round to help those who didn't sign up. I think people will be very skeptical. So I don't think people will also know now that, not signing up to the DDEP is not the end of the world, and that there's always a chance that you get your bond back. So I'll be surprised if the government is successful with the second round.
Economist Dr. Patrick Isumin there. Meantime, government is expected to close a chapter on the domestic debt exchange program, the new one, in the coming days after securing more than 90% participation in the domestic dollar bonds, cocoa bills, and pension funds. Here's George Biafre more.
The domestic dollar bonds, the cocoa bills, and the restructuring of the pension funds ended last Friday after it was extended on 2 occasions. But based on what Joy Business has picked up, participation in all these papers is pegged at more than 90%. This government claims it has secured more than what it even targeted to describe this final round of domestic debt exchange program as a success. The Finance Ministry, together with other financial institutions that worked on these papers, will be coming out with the fine details in terms of the level of participation, as well as the allotment and how the payment will be done and the maturity dates in the coming days. Government sees the closing of this chapter on the domestic debt exchange program as one of those targets that could help Ghana pass the first review under the ZIMF program come next month. Some market analysts also believe that finalizing this domestic debt exchange program may give some clarity about the direction of the economy when it comes to government's finances.
George, I feel with that report. Well, the government says it has made significant progress towards restructuring external debts, including Eurobonds. Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam is Minister of State at the Finance Ministry.
We have 2 types of external debts here. You have the Eurobond holders, and then also you have the bilateral creditors. So for the Eurobond holders, we set up 2 committees. The first committee for the international bond holders, and another committee for regional bond holders. We've had constructive engagement with them, and we actually shared in May this year their restructuring scenarios, hoping to receive an offer from them. As I speak to you, we've received an offer from the regional bond holders, and we are discussing seriously about that offer. We're hoping to receive an offer from the international bond.
The thoughts of Minister of State at the Finance Ministry, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam. Let's move on to other stories. The Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Reverend Amisha Dawusu-Amoah, is appealing to taxpayers to be transparent in their tax obligations in order to qualify for some refund at the end of the year. According to him, many people qualify for annual refunds of a percentage of their tax payments but are unable to reclaim due to their inability to file the right taxes. He has been speaking to Joy Business.
Tax refund is very, very effective, and many institutions and enterprises are constantly getting refunds in millions. The challenge we have is for people understanding that refund comes from filing. So if you are not filing, then you are not be able to know that you have overpaid or you are underpaid. And therefore, that is why I'm saying that the mandatory filing and mandatory filing of all taxes is very, very important, because it is through that. Take, for example, the individuals. Many of us, our companies deduct our PAYE. And we don't file, we don't indicate that we have aged parents, which gives you a relief. You have a relief that you get if you have children in school. We don't indicate it.
Reverend Dr. Amisha Dawusu-Amoah, Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority. The Chartered Institute of Insurance Ghana is concerned about the current state of the economy, saying it may affect the industry's quest to increase its penetration rate. The institute explains that persistent economic woes could lead to support the economy. He was speaking at the 2023 Chartered Institute of Insurance Excellence Awards.
Indeed, we are faced with challenging times. Just about 2 weeks ago, fuel prices went up, food prices have gone up again, transportation prices would go up again, water and electricity bills have gone up as an IMF bailout conditionality. The value of the Ghanaian cedi keeps dropping. Some of the risks face.
President of the Chartered Insurance Ghana. The Ghana Stock Exchange has invested 13 billion cedis out of the 20 billion cedi income earned over the years into private investments. According to his managing director, Abnamwa, this was part of plans to increase revenue. Speaking at the Canada-Ghana Chamber of Commerce CEOs Connect, Amwa said she will position the exchange as an important tool for development.
So far, the GSE, we have raised almost 20 billion Ghana cedis and directed that into investment. About 7 billion of this has come through what we call equity investment, and 13 billion Ghana cedis has been funneled into private investments through things like corporate bond and instruments like that. And that is what we are looking to escalate.
Managing Director of the Ghana Stock Exchange, Abnamwa. Let's turn to the stock market for a preview. Based on demand market, the share price or market demand, rather, the share price of Standard Chartered Bank is expected to rise this week. Here's Grace Munayan of Data Bank Research on how your stocks will fare.
Last week, the stock market registered 7 price movers of 3 gainers and 4 laggards. Standard Chartered Bank, SIC Insurance, and Societe Generale recorded an increase in their share prices, while Guel Ghana, Carl Bank, Access Bank, and Ecobank Ghana all declined. Outweighed by the gains, the Ghana Stock Exchange Composite Index expanded 0.25% weekly, resulting in a year-to-date gain of 25.59%, whereas the Data Bank Stock Index advanced 0.55% weekly to a year-to-date gain of 14.67%. Based on market demand, we anticipate the share price of Standard Chartered Bank to rise, while we forecast Carl Bank and MTN to fall due to oversupply of their shares. For Joy Business Reports, Grace Munanyun of Data Bank Research.
Thank you, Grace. On the currency market this morning, the dollar going for 11 cedis 43 pesos on the Forex